Alright, so this is going to be a review for um, a a set of games that we played yesterday against Exilium Blue, who we have trouble beating. This is going to be more of a self-review than a team review on what I should have done differently. We're not going to look at it too crazily in depth. Uh, we're actually we might go a little bit in depth, but it's just to see the problems that I made and where I could have been more aggro, opportunities I could have had to gank duo lane, opportunities I could have had to counter jungle. Just overall looking over my gameplay and seeing opportunities on how to be a better jungler than what I already am, and get my team to benefit more from my plays than the plays that they could make, and overall look for opportunities. So. I'm not going to have any sound on the video because there's comms. The comms are fine to hear technically, but we might go over comms a little bit to see what the thinking was. Overall, we're just going to look at like general pathing and stuff like that and decision making and try and go from there. So we're just going to watch it. I think there might be a 2x speed button. Yeah, we'll watch it we'll watch it 2x speed. So we're having Cerberus starting duo lane. They're going to shove that and get buff invades. Put up a lot of pressure so that we don't have to worry about buff invades ourselves, which if they're buff invading an Isis, Isis is doing something wrong. We skip back camps because Daji's 2 doesn't come up off cooldown until blue buff, and we kind of want to use that so we don't take as much poke. I'm not sure what this Pele's pathing was, but it kind of screwed her over. If she was at that camp level 2, I wouldn't have been aggro like that, but she was level 1. So I played like hyper aggressive because Daji's level 2 is super strong compared to Pele's level 1. Obviously, I think that goes with most characters 2 to level 1. So I blinked on her to close the distance. She would have got away from me otherwise because there were 3. We procced her with the 1, and then I mean, really, realistically, we had a really good Isis Spirit Ball, and it worked out well for us. Skip blue buff. This really screwed over Terra because Terra has to have blue. It was a very odd jungle start by the enemy jungler. So we're super far ahead of the enemy jungler at the moment. We would have had first blood if something didn't happen in duo lane. Right, so where are we at? 132.02. We're going to go 131.56. This is something I noticed on the playback earlier. We're watching this, okay? They're going to back camps, okay? We have a level 4 Apwash who has no mana. We have me who's level 3 with full mana. We have a level 2 Pele, and then we have a level 3 Isis at 75% mana. Well, no, 25% mana and then, 75% HP. After clearing this, realistically, we could have just dropped, or we could at least drop the minions and then look to pressure up into their jungle and look to catch them because Apwash has no mana. I would have been able to close the distance super quickly. I would have been able to get my slow off, and all we needed really was a Spirit Ball. Worst case scenario, we get Apwash's beads, but since I'm so close to level 5, where I'll hit level 5 by the time he gets his beads back up, that's going to be an easy kill for us to make on them, and we could have definitely got a kill, or if not got his beads and then got a kill at level 5. We could have played a little bit more aggressive there, except we opted for more of the passive route. Right, and even then, right, speed buff was coming up. Even if we pushed up into their back camps, and instead of just pushing up to their back camps and then looking to get a pick, we could have pushed up to their speed buff, and then Terra realistically couldn't rotate because she had no blue buff, and she was already strapped for mana, and Cerberus was already out pushing her. Because I'm pretty sure Apwash still hasn't even backed here. Yeah, he still has no mana, no HP. They realistically could not defend that buff against us too. Even if we would have not have gotten that back camp, invaded and got the back camp, we would have invaded and got blue buff. That's just us not paying attention to our 2v2 and where they could fight us and where they can't, you know. So I really needed to hit level 5. Um, I could have done back camps, looked at oracles, and then looked at mid or look back camps because they just did right camps. So right camps are down. I really need to hit level 5 because if I hit level 5, there's an upcoming fight that happens that if I would have hit 5, we probably would have got a double kill. But I wasn't 5 and Pele was. Pele wouldn't have been 5 if we invaded either, and I would have been 5. They wouldn't have probably fought us in right camp. So that just goes to show like the decision making by us early game can completely affect the entire like pace of the game. I should have focused. I don't know why I was focusing Terra there instead of the buff. We wanted the buff. There's no way we could have killed Terra. Back camps are down. See, I'm so close to level 5. All I needed to do is get one creep from that from that blue buff, and I'd have been able to fight here. The second, yeah, see that? The second I procced, I shouldn't even have hit that camp, really. The second I procced my 1 on that camp, that's when she engaged on me. That my 1 was keeping her away from me in general, and she didn't want to engage on me until that was down. I don't know why that just skipped like that. 134.12. So we'll go to 134.07. So my 1 was down. She engaged. She's looking straight up for Isis. Isis would have realistically died if she would have hit that. We detonated that super fucking early. And then Upwatch gets out with no HP, no mana, because he legit barely had any mana to do anything in that fight, regardless, because he stayed out. That's what Maples does. He stays out. He just keeps farming, and we don't punish him for having no mana. So I'm level 4. Pele gets a double kill and hits level 6, and then just from here on out for the rest of the game is kind of me trying to play catch up. And Daji does okay from behind, but if I was a little bit higher, and we kind of invaded and set the pace of the game ourselves, this game would have been completely different. I let creeps go into tower, full wave. I don't get blue buff. Isis goes and pretty much gets like 3 creeps. So I could have had a full wave there. I mean, back camps were kind of important for me at this point because Pele's ahead of me, and I really needed to invade so that they wouldn't have that XP, and it's just a way for me to catch up and close the gap. My back camps are up instead of 3-way splitting mids. Mids are down. So here's just me just lolling around looking for something to farm when I do have something to farm, and I could have farmed these back right camps a lot sooner. Because they could have 2v2'd those left mids, and I could have had the back camps. And I could have been having those on cooldown right now, and then I could have had back, I can go to back lefts, get those down, go to back rights, their back rights, keep stealing that from Pele, go to my back rights, and just keep on going like that. Try to somehow close the gap and figure out how to get farm. I personally looked over this fight several times. I think this fight was completely pointless. There there's nothing we were fighting for. Like I understand if we're fighting for left mids and a fight they engage on us or we look to get a good poke and then I engage on them. But like we're fighting in mid for, right camps are down, left camps were down. From what we no left camps just came up, right camps were down because we just checked. Or if not they just came up. Um, and instead we get 2-man wiped here. Ganesh says she ended up misplaying, but we could have been looking to take these camps, look to fight over these camps potentially, catch them in corridors to where it's the most lethal because we do have them warded, and then look to, or even then, like look to not even fight them, or fight them, poke them out, or I could look to invade again. Instead, we get Pele another. I think what Pele got another like one or two kills, and that ended up putting her super far ahead of me, which is just not ideal. Jungler v jungle. We're gonna watch it again, kind of in slow mo to kind of see if there was any decisions I could have made differently when it came to actually play gameplay. We'll listen to comms too. Maybe no. So Pele's beads are down at this point. They get engaged on. I see that, and I come to rescue. I grab Pele. I cancel my ult, but it's already way too late for me to save. I grab Pele. I go on Opwash. And there's just nothing, there's nothing more I could have done there. Pele got double. So I could have looked to stay up in the air a lot sooner. I think what I did was I canceled my ultimate quickly so that I could save ices, but it's not my job to save ices. I mean, I could try, but Ganesh has plenty of PO in her kit to try and just save her for a good amount of time and for me to focus on Upwash. Um, except that uh, she missed the stun, the hippo dash, the dash for Ganesh, and wasn't able to peel Pele off. And then realistically, I was kind of left alone. Um, Ganesh couldn't save me. It would have been like a triple kill if she would have kept on pushing forward, but I could have looked to get at least one more chain off. Or be a little bit more concise, quick and concise, get it done. Hit my stuff. Which I did hit my stuff, but hit it a lot quicker. See, Alpwash is still out. No HP, no mana. Well, it has HP, no mana. I'm invading a lot, which is good. I could have been warding speed buff, have Ganesh, more ward towards the uh, middle, and then have me warding speed. Even though me invading speed buff would be completely risky, Pele's big and was looking to make plays. If we have, lanes warded and we're aware of where Pele's at, and I could just sneak a speed buff in, um, it could help me close the gap XP wise and try and catch up. Because she does have she does have 3 kills on me, so she is going to be really far ahead of me, which is, a super bummer. Yeah, so I lose those. Walked on a ward, they cleared a ward. We have no mid ward coverage at the moment. I might have been able to engage on Rom there. Um, that fight, I was just trying to stay alive when I got lower, but engaging on Rom could have got me killed. If not, I could have killed him. It would have been a risky play for real. We pushed out Upwash. I didn't, I saw him on my screen of where he walked to, and I didn't push back behind the Gold Fury to maybe look to pick him off and kill him. Um, and then look to maybe if I would have went behind the Gold Fury to pick him, I would have been in a position to cut off Rom from going into lane and then maybe kill Rom We could have backed and got Gold Fury after that. So right now we're about 1K down. Not too big of a lead. This is a pretty big fight right here. Um, Rom as a character cannot um, it's kind of misplay from Expel, cannot get away from Daji. Like, he can kind of stall time and save himself, but we can see on the map, Geb is just way too far away to do anything about that. By the time Geb even gets probably here, he can't get away. He could roll to there, but like Daji has like a slow immune, she has a gap closer, she has an ultimate. There is absolutely no way that Rom could even catch me. We see a fight brewing in mid lane. We're like, okay, we want to get a pick here. We're in a position to get a pick because Rom just died. We have a 20, I'd say 30% HP Shibalanke, and we could have looked to fight 4v3, except Shibalanke says he can't do it, and we kind of discussed it. Go anyways, regardless of if you're a quarter HP or with a 30% HP, because this could have been a completely different fight if we just had a little bit more DPS. I don't know how that chain didn't hit like Pele. And it was just me kiting and trying to save myself after Terra rotated. And I think Cerberus even called that Terra was rotating. But if Shibalanki didn't solo ult that Rom to prevent him from seeing me, even though I was already there and there was no way that he could have saved himself from me, we could have had at least Shibalanki ult, blinded them, and then that could have been a completely different fight. But since we didn't do that, um, we lost that fight as well. And at the same time, it's like, we could have fought that, and it's like, why are we trying to fight a fight? Um, well, no, I didn't say why are we trying to fight a fight. It's like it was a good fight to fight, realistically. Like, it was something good to pick because we really needed the picks. We really needed to catch up, but that still went completely south for us, and we weren't able to um, get what we needed, and we ended up losing another fight that we definitely could have won. And then I ended up missing a chain on Pele, which should have killed her. Like, just one chain, I didn't even have to pull her, would have killed her, and that would have at least got me some shutdown gold, um, and helped me catch up. And that could have opened, instead of me like uh, using my ult to kind of chase her, like I could have like dropped back down, maybe more towards the jungle instead of the lane, and then uh, maybe not have gotten caught by Terra, instead of putting myself out there to try and chase a target that was realistically already super far gone. Serb says he's making a rotation. Serb is level 14 against Terra level 13. We have a huge team fight here. Again, another fight lost. We get shut down on Pele, which is great. I'm still getting chased. Gonna review that fight one more time. Alright, so we're gonna slow it down. Want to grab Pele. I know she doesn't have beads. Miss Pele again. I grab Gab. I do get upwash. He beats super late. He ends up getting out. I could have got Gab dead. Rom here. Upwash could have died. I could have killed Upwash. He had no one to protect him with Gab being dead. Yeah, and then Upwash is still pushing up, and he should not be in the position to continue pushing when he should be dead. And I think from here, they get Gold Fury, and they, if we would have fought that a little bit better, they wouldn't have been able to grab Gold Fury. At least with Posh being dead, it would have been a lot more slower process for them to grab that. No, Serb's there. He can't get them off of it. He's trying. I skip back camps again. I go to ward Pyromancer. We start Pyro. This is a good call. We get Pyromancer. So skipping back camps was fine. ADC's over here stealing jungle farm. He's going to lose an entire... He rotates when we realistically didn't need him for Pyro. He comes to Pyromancer. We don't even need his DPS. We lose a tower because he rotated. He's level 14. You know, Rom's level 13, which is great. But we lose the tower, and he loses a lot of farm just for him to rotate, get nothing, and grab back camps. Get a good pick on Posh. I fall super, you know, since I'm super far behind, you know, if we would have had that early game invade, you know, it could have dictated a lot more invades. But since I'm far behind, it's kind of hard for me to save my, you know, like invade when I'm so far behind Pele, and just getting caught um, at such a disadvantage level-wise is going to cause me to just get killed and get picked out. So, you know, we come over, we try to make a play on Terra after killing Posh. Terra's alone. They're probably calling that Terra's alone. He's getting rotated on. So we see that, yeah, someone even pings out that Gavin and someone's rotating. I think it's Pele. Yeah, we miss our ultimate. We invest in this fight on Terra because even though we knew that they were coming behind and Terra's so tanky, like we should have just like, okay, we missed the engage, or we know they're behind us. Like we got to be aware of that, and that we should just be getting out because Isis dies, I die, Rom gets a double kill, Pele gets another kill. That just opens up another can of worms over on the right side of the map, for them to potentially get Fire Giant, if not push tower. And then from here, it's just super snowbally. Like very hard for us to catch up. You know, like 3K down, not the end of the world. Um, they're looking to pressure Fire Giant. They're on Fire Giant right now, from what we saw. Fire Giant gets the kill. They chase. They're literally... The thing is, they saw that Fire Giant was being done. You know, this is just something to point out. But I think one of their calls was, we'll kind of listen a little bit. We're kind of drop back.
A little bit.
Just be safe. Maple's low. We're coming in full.
They're half. We fight this.
Wait.
Yeah. Go.
Go. No. Just go. We need you.
Get in there.
Yeah,
Stop,
they
stop,
were
stop,
calling
stop,
wait.
Fire's down.
Like,
They got it.
One of them was calling that we need to go. I get a good pick here. If I was a little bit higher of a level, like I would have been able to get that kill. A little bit more farm, I would have been able to have that kill as well. I would have got a double. We lost Fire Giant. One of the, I could have maybe skipped speed buff. Came straight there because I knew Fire Giant was being contested. I felt like I needed a little bit more of the, speed so that I could, maneuver a lot quicker. Would have been a little bit more vital, but maybe skipping speed for sure would have been just skipped. Skipping speed would have been skipped, obviously, and then could have got some picks there. A lot more thorough picks. Ward coverage has just completely died off ever since we started falling behind. They're sieging. And then from here, literally, it's just a snowball. Like, we can't see, we can't anti-siege into Alpashal. We know Alpashal's ult's down. We're calling to defend this. So we call for Cerberus. We need to initiate on them. Problem being, Cerberus just completely initiated before anyone was really ready. He's a sub, so there's not much we could have done about that. We told him to go in, and he did. So we just needed a little bit more communication as to when he was going to invade. Maybe that, or when he was going to engage. Like maybe that fight could have gone a lot smoother. We could have got a pick if we would have known what to do, or when to do it, rather. Just farming, not much going on. I do still have a ward in hand that I could be using and putting down somewhere. Good spirit ball pick on a Pwash. Pwash is realistically dead. He can't get away from me. No one's able to peel for him. And then from here, this fight, we're looking at a win, and then it just completely gets turned around as our ADC and our mid laner is just completely different targets. There's nothing I could do to just watch them die, like without me just going in and dying myself. So I just go back to farming. They get Fire Giant again, or they siege mid Phoenix, and all I can do is watch. I can't do anything. I have no ultimate. Two levels behind Pele, not the worst. I got a little bit of farm coming in after people died and they looked to siege instead of, them farming themselves. That was a really good pillar for me. I died to Posh. Posh dies to me, to the team. A fight that we definitely could have won, but it just gets turned again because we're far behind. We're 10k behind right now. Like we don't have the defenses, we don't have the we don't have the defenses, we don't have the power that we need to really close these fights out in our favor. Titan takes a lot of poke. Rom gets out. We know that Fire Giant, I think we all throw our lives away here for it, and we end up losing the game. Got Posh's Aegis. I'm looking for a Posh again. We lose Ganesh ulti. I get Posh. He's Geb shielded. I have nowhere to go. I'm just going to die. Yeah, and then they close the game out here for another lost fight. I don't know what's going on in the team fight. Really, we just lost a lot of our ultis at the beginning of it. They siege down the Titan. I just watch as it just burns. It's just amazing how the pace of the game just gets dictated from one early game decision and then one, being level 4 instead of level 5 when you really, really needed it. And it just, you lose a lot of opportunity when you could be gaining it, looking to invade a little bit more, looking to take their speed buff when they don't have mana, looking to capitalize off of Opwash, and then looking to having no mana and like looking to engage and then maybe pick, hitting our abilities. Would have got a couple more picks if we just would have been hitting abilities, throwing ultimates down a little sooner or a little quicker, and just capitalizing a little bit more off their mistakes and being um, not team fight ult using team fight ults on one target like Shibalanke ult in left lane. Having him rotate when we call for it instead of backing out. Uh, at least for me, try to look to take back camps a lot more. Take their back camps. We didn't really see much of their red buff this game. There was no red buff invades really going on. Uh, but look to definitely ward deeper when there's potential for, especially when I was ahead and returning from base. Look to get some deeper wards and look to steal stuff. So um, that's what I'm getting from that game. Just a little bit, be quicker on my abilities and just look to invade when the opportunity arises.